What's shaking, everybody? This is King of the Golden State here with another edition of the Wednesday Pile. A couple of the best of this week of stuff I picked up from the comic shop. Mostly new releases, some stuff I may have overlooked. That's my fault, but it's cool. It's cool. Hope you guys are having a good night. The weather is pretty nice lately. I'm on the West Coast, so it gives some pretty good weather out here lately. So I figured I'd get started, show you guys what I picked up from the comic shop, and hopefully, if you guys haven't picked these up, then hopefully it gives you guys like some sort of insight on what you want to pick up from the comic shop that you may have overlooked. Like say, starting with issue number 2, that is of The Fix. The Fix is actually a pretty good story right now. This is issue number 2, and issue number 1 is available now, but it's available in a second printing right now, and it's really good. It's really about two guys who robbed a retirement home, and the thing is about these two guys is that they're cops, and they're actually doing all this stuff because they owe a favor to a mob boss who's kind of a weird mob boss. He's kind of not your quintessential mob boss. He's one of those guys. He's like a family man, and he sounds like the nicest guy. But if you piss him off in the wrong light, he'll threaten to cut off your taint. And if you kids don't know what a taint is, then I would suggest looking it up or ask your parents. But Jesus, this is actually a pretty good series so far. And the second issue just came out, and I figured I'd pick this up and carry on with it. But yeah, The Fix. I would go look for this if you're looking for a good story. It's really fun. It's one of those books, I think, in somewhere in time, So it's one of those things where Arrow is picking up a comic book to make it into a movie. This is definitely a contender for that. It's really a fun read. So, also picked up another issue of the Micronauts, and like I said, it's definitely it's a generation behind, but the Micronauts came out back in the the 80s, and it was from Marvel Comics, but it's being represented by IDW, and it's really the first issue is good, and it's come out with another different covers, variant covers and such for issue number 2, and it's written by Cullen Bunn, and the first issue was good, so it was worth picking up the second issue. So, like I said, if you've never been to the Micronauts, I'm not sure if they have it in trade, but you could pick up the single issues. They're kind of inexpensive. So if you want to, you could probably look around and jump on one. Except for the first issue, I think it's pretty pricey, but it's still affordable nonetheless. All right. I also picked up the latest issue of the International Iron Man, and funny thing is, International Iron Man by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. Those two, in my opinion, I like artists going back to even the 90s, like Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee, and what have you. Maybe even a Rob Liefeld from time to time. God help me. But the next best thing, actually maybe ahead of all those guys, is a combination of Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. Their run on Daredevil together was really good. It was really a championship run, and I love their work on the International Iron Man. They even had a alternate issue. They have an alternate cover, which I had to pick up. I couldn't say no to, but yeah. If there's anything you find out there out there in the wild, of a comic shop that's by Bendis and Maleev, pick it up. I mean, I got one that flew over my head, which I just ordered online, is a Moon Knight run. It's a 12-issue run by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev, and they're so perfect for one another. When it comes to writing and actual storytelling, they do a great job, and they're no different on International Iron Man. And I can't wait to get my 12-issue run of Moon Knight coming in the mail by the same team. So if you haven't picked up International Iron Man, pick it up. And if you don't like Iron Man, pick up the run on Daredevil. Daredevil is so damn good when, with those two on that title. I felt so bad when once I found out they were coming off that title, and it was kind of disappointing, but it's really good. So pick these up if you can. If not, pick up Daredevil. If not, do what I did and order Moon Knight, which is like a 12-issue miniseries, which was like ran in 2011. Speaking of Brian Michael Bendis, Civil War 2 came out. I didn't think they were going to do another Civil War, but I think they're just doing that because of the fact that the movie, the Captain America Civil War came out. So comics got to try to make their, they got to try to make their money. So, it's by Brian Michael Bendis, drawn by Oliver Copiel. It's, like I said, I'm a big Brian Michael Bendis fan, and, his writing is really, really good stuff. And I can't wait to dig into this. I'm so excited. I even picked up the variant cover they had for this, which is, it's I'm not sure who did the cover, but it looks really good. I mean, I couldn't say no, so I had to pick that up. But yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. I can't wait to read these, but also next week, I guess, is if I'm not mistaken, DC Universe is doing that whole Rebirth thing, and I believe they're having like a midnight showing or a midnight release or whatever for a couple of comic shops who were saying yes to doing this, but I believe they're doing some midnight releases at some comic shops for DC Universe's Rebirth, which is kind of like a little over the top in my opinion, but I'd rather just wait until the Wednesday morning, as opposed to like the Tuesday night. But what is your guys' opinion on DC Rebirth? Comment below. Or did you guys like DC 52? The new 52 that happened like prior to the DC Rebirth. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of before at that point where I was like, look, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to reboot stuff so people could jump on for one excuse, and the other excuse is to make money. But, I'm at that point where it's like, I don't even care anymore. I mean, you can reboot a title, you can reboot a series or a universe nowadays, and I just don't care at this point, because I think we're all just going to pick these up regardless what they do. I mean, some of us will probably say no for one time, and then as time passes, will eventually come around, but because it's comic books. But I don't know, I mean before I said no to the new 52 for the longest time, and eventually I came around, and then of course when I came around, that's when they started doing the Rebirth stuff, and I'm at that point where I just said fuck it, I'm just gonna just let it lie as it may, and just let it be, because they're gonna reboot stuff anyway no matter what you do as a fan. So anyway, I just figured out, I'd ask you guys what you guys thought about the new 52 as an entirety, and was it, as it finished up, or as it was before, and, are you guys longing for the old 52, or what do you guys think about, what's your opinion on the DC Universe Rebirth that's coming out? Should be next week. Yeah, comment below. To any new subscribers, I welcome you guys. Please have a look around. And like, comment, subscribe, hell, even share with your friends. All right, this is King of the Golden State. I'm going to go take a nice little nap for a couple hours, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.